on another note, we have some customers many customers with a variety of sleep issues. Quite a few have used Vitalize.
Oh yeah,
very successfully.
Cool.
We had a gal recently the other day who was just singing Vitalize's praises. She just tried it one night and she was already really rested and had a very productive next day. And then I have a client who's used Vitalize successfully to some extent and still has some sleep issues going on. So can you talk a little about what sleep issues Vitalize resolves and what other sleep issues might have other solutions?
Oh boy, it's a really complex issue about sleep, and it's important because sleep is when we regenerate.
Right.
If our sleep is interrupted, then our aging is dramatically accelerated and symptoms begin to build on top of each other. So sleep has to be resolved. You have to have deep sleep. And so what Vitalize will really greatly affect is any type of lymphatic stagnation.
Yeah.
So the way it works is we have to move to pump our lymphatic system, and if our lymphatic system is clogged up, we keep moving, nothing happens. And so we keep moving until our adrenal compounds are exhausted, and then we pass out. And as soon as we build up enough of those to reboot ourselves upright and walking and moving again, we do. Now that might be an hour after you go to sleep.
Right. It's the crash, sleep hard, and then wake up, and
you
don't want to be awake, but you are.
That's the you go to sleep because you're just passing out tired, and a few minutes later you wake up and can't go back to sleep, and then you pass out again, wake up. That's that dog chasing its tail thing.
Yeah.
And so Vitalize will really help that. The other, the ringer came back on. So now we have special effects.
A different kind of special effect.
The other really important things of, we'll give it one more chance. The other important things about sleep are to have a very quiet space. And here's a really cool technology. These little foam rubber earplugs. I buy these by the 100 sets, and these are, I think these are, there's something like 40 dB cut, 40 decibel cut earplugs. Here, you have some.
Awesome.
Yeah, so what you do is you roll them up like this into a little, and you put them in your ear, right in your ear canal. And you're careful, if you put them up against your eardrum and you lay over on your side and it pushes on your eardrum, you will wake up with a headache, the likes of which you have never experienced before, and you'll desire to forever pass on again. I did that once. And so now I tend to, if I'm going to lay on my side, I put my hand in my ear to give it a firm, so the pillows are covered.
Won't push it in too far.
Yeah, so you've got to have it quiet. It's got to be dark. You've got to be dark. You've got to be out of the electrical field of anything, like you've got a clock radio. Get rid of it.
How do you wake up then?
Well, my recommendation is you have an online business, you work at home. So there's no issue with waking up.
And until that point,
and until
put
that
your
time,
alarm in another room.
You put your alarm across the room, because if the alarm goes off, you're supposed to get up anyway, and then you'll have to get up and turn it off, so you'll be ahead of the game. So anything that's plugged in the wall, get it away from your body. If you have to have a clock beside your bed, then get one of the little either battery operated or wind-up clocks. I mean, wind-up clocks are very accurate, and a lot of them will have those luminous dials, and once you turn the light off, they'll be luminous for hours. So that's my recommendation.
So quiet.
So quiet, dark, no electrical fields. No news before you go to bed. Watch something like watch something funny. If I say South Park, people might think I'm kind of weird.
I'm not sure that that's funny in my book. Letterman.
Letterman.
Ferguson is really mine.
Okay, so
anyway,
something that's funny or light,
or meditation music.
Something to take you into rest mode. Oh, and the other really important thing is that if you eat when the sun's high, then that's when your digestive fire is highest. So that's easy to digest. And what happens is the sun starts going down, our serotonin begins to mediate our hormone system and take our system out of activity mode into restorative regeneration mode. And so if you eat, anytime after it starts getting dark, you bang right over in activity mode, and you can never get regeneration. And so a lot of people will do, they'll like have a snack before they go to bed. Or they will eat a meal late at night. And if you keep doing that over and over again, then the regeneration cycle keeps getting interrupted.
So if you're feeling hungry, before you go to bed.
Well,
switch over and eat some superfoods that are more satisfying, filling.
Well, you can have a little shot of chocolate bliss, because usually people, it's a sugar thing, and the magnesium and chromium in the chocolate will help a lot with that, and a little touch of agave will help too. And or have like a little piece of high water content fruit, like a grapefruit. So a sour citrus, you know, it's very mediating on the blood sugar, on a person's blood sugar, or, you know, a tart apple. Something, you know, that's a little bit...
and then start to change the habit.
Yeah. And if you have a craving for something like fat, then eat a little bit of avocado with salt, because that's high water content fat, and it'll metabolize a lot faster. It'll be much less of a... I mean, I personally would prefer to skip something like that heavy that late at the night. And if you're going to eat something like that, eat something the highest quality you can, so it's the least effect.
Okay.
How are we doing?
We're doing good. I have one more question.
Oh, good. Is it a good one?
It's a really good one.
Oh, okay.
It's this whole ADHD symptomology. Do you have any recommendations for superfoods or solutions that help remediate ADHD?
Well, ADHD, and also anything on the spectrum, the autism
ADD
spectrum, and it's everything. And I saw this weird study that estimated that 7 out of every 10 males before the age of 10 will present some sort of symptom on the spectrum.
Wow.
7 out of 10. Lot. That's 70%.
Are having some spectrum of consciousness
alteration. And so what that means is that statistic has been growing since the 60s. I mean, dramatically. And so the question is, well, obviously something's happened between then and now, and you better figure out what happened and stop doing that to your kids.
Processed foods come to mind.
Processed foods, inoculations, all sorts of potentially different things. So you do your research, you figure out what you think it is if you have a child, and you get away from those different things.
And experiment with
something
removing
else.
some of those things and maybe adding superfoods in, just generally. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, David,
for you're very welcome.
Your valuable time. We really love visiting with you, and we hope to be back soon.
Cool. All right.
Mwah.